The Chicago Bears continue their search for a new offensive coordinator, now requesting to interview Klint Kubiak. Me and the fellas, we're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host here, Haize, joined by the whole squad in the building today to talk about this news. Breaking news, the Chicago Bears do plan to interview 49ers passing coordinator Klint Kubiak for their offensive coordinator position. This is another guy who brings a lot of cachet with his name, a lot of experience. We so far in the two ones that we know for sure that the Bears are going to be interviewing, they bring experience, they bring years of service, and they really know how to work with quarterbacks. How you guys feeling about hearing Klint Kubiak is the next on the Bears list to interview?
It just makes sense.
I
Anybody
love
from
it.
the 49ers, man. Sure. Yes.
Go ahead. Say that again, Kev.
Go ahead.
I was just saying anybody from the 49ers. I mean, like they just throw any quarterback out there and achieve success, NFC championships or Super Bowls, and you like, who the hell is Brock Purdy? And so on and so forth. So yes, bring him in, talk to him.
Go ahead, Doug.
It's a good guy to come in and talk to him and see what's on his mind. When it comes to like being a person to call plays and stuff, I don't see a lot of experience in that. Even though he has been coaching since 2010. It's good to get him in and talk to him. I don't think he really has a chance per se. I'll be surprised if he get the job because I don't see much experience. And I think for this team, we looking for more experience when it comes to calling plays. This guy has none. So it's good to have him come in and talk.
Go ahead. I just think it was I seen it coming just because when they kept SEMO, I knew I believe they also was a people. They was in Denver together, if I'm not mistaken. So they runs like I said, with SEMO staying there with him being the O-line coach. I know with him if they was to bring in Kubiak, they both understand the run system because it's the same system. That's from the Shanahan tree, so nothing's going to change. So I knew that was going to come because it matches. So if they're coming in like I think they are, where they just need somebody to clean up the passing game, this is your guy. But also, my worry is that's the reason why he was like out of my top four, he was like 4, maybe 5. It's like what you said. He's young and he don't have the experience as play caller.
Now, he did call plays briefly for Denver when he was there in 2022. So not very extensive. So still does have a lack of history of play calling.
And he was
did it in Minnesota too.
Minnesota too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had some time in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. He was the offensive coordinator there as well. So
yeah, so he got some play calling experience, and that's me personally. I like where he's coming from. He comes from a dad. Obviously, we got to see if he can still be his dad, but we know he's been around football for pretty much majority of his life. If his dad had a long tenure, so he should know what he's talking about. The biggest thing about it all, I'm just happy that the Bears are doing their due diligence with guys. For the most part, for the candidate that's been thrown out there, guys that know football, guys that have experience as well. So I like what they're doing. I like the direction that they're going.
And once again, the Bears wait to announce this late. I don't know what they do. Like Ryan Poles is clearly up late, just making phone calls. Like, hey, did you have dinner with your family yet? Bet we want to interview. When can we get that scheduled? But when you hear again, going after somebody who comes from a coaching family that has been around coaching now for almost a decade in different roles, things like that. This is another guy who, while limited in play calling experience, he has had some. Is somebody who's been around football his whole entire life. So it kind of plays into what we've seen Ryan Poles do. Now, from the two candidates that we know so far, right, for sure that are on the interviewing docket for the Bears to take a look at, do you feel like this is a right direction for the Bears so far? Do you think they're missing out? Should they go after Eric Bieniemy? Should they go after some of these other Stroman who we've heard about before? Or do you think that they're thinking outside the box, but at the same time, if in matching what we need? And keep in mind, San Francisco 49ers, second best offense in the NFL this past year, and I think the third best passing game. They're so far seeming to kind of go after offensive coordinators that have more experience with the passing side of it, because our running game is going to be ready to go. We got that running back room together. But what do you guys feel?
And San Francisco is balanced too.
I was gonna say I like exactly where they're going with this, because I know a lot of fans, they want to see, hey, go get Greg Roman. I got my reservation regarding Greg Roman simply because the only person that typically ate on his offenses was the tight end. No. So then Eric Bieniemy. I believe Eric Bieniemy is talented, and I believe he has solid things that he can do. But this past season and his entire tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs, we didn't see much of the run game. Even with Sam Howell this season, that's a young quarterback you're trying to get established. And I believe they had 2 solid running backs in Washington, and they didn't run them. They didn't run them much. And then Haize, you brought it up before. It's something surrounding Eric Bieniemy and his personality that's just not clicking with certain players in certain locker rooms around the NFL. So with the 2 coordinators that's been mentioned, I will put them higher on my list.
That's fair.
I like the 2 choices so far. I like it. San Francisco runs a balanced attack. They had a top 5 passing attack, and they were in the bottom in attempts. So that just goes to show you that when they threw it, it was successful. And when they ran the ball, of course, you got CMC out there. They taking care of business. So I'm excited to see, and I think the Bears should talk to everybody who's available.
Like, they talk to everybody.
I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about everybody who matters, who's available. Talk to those guys. Get a feel for what they're trying to do and what they want to accomplish, because it shouldn't be rushed. And I know how the NFL works. There's other positions open for other teams, and you don't want to do too slow of a process. But if it's top notch coordinators out there, talk to them, text them, find out what's going on, something.
And they should want to come to Chicago, because if they look at this roster, they know Chicago has a bright future. I like the first offensive coordinator that came in, but I don't like this pick. I'm gonna just be honest. We're gonna be as careful as possible with this offensive coordinator choice. And this guy right here has no experience. Y'all say he was an offensive coordinator for the Vikings. The next year he got demoted to the quarterbacks coach. So I'm straight on that. And let's get us a solid offensive coordinator. Let's not play around in this. Man, let's hope he be good. He was a passing game coordinator. He wasn't an offensive coordinator, though. Let's just get us the right person with the right skills.
Well, I think both times that he became the offensive coordinator, he was promoted to offensive coordinator in mid-season. So that's something to be said with that. But I get what you're saying, C-Dubb. I C-Dubb wants somebody that's seasoned, somebody that's proven, something like that, and I can understand it. So right now you're leading towards Waldron, and I think a lot of people are going to agree with leading towards Waldron over at Klint Kubiak. But like I said, I think on the emergency episode, when that happens, the Bears need to interview a bunch. I want to see them go extensive. I mean, 5 to 8, maybe even 10 people to interview for this. Just see who has the best vision for what where they're trying to go. And so they're going to hear a lot of names. Some of them are going to be names that we agree with it. Some are going to be names we're like, really? That's who you're interviewing? But I think that's how you do an extensive search. You have to take a look at all the options out there for it.
I was about to say the same thing. There's about 3 to 4 names that I'm still waiting to hear from, and it's definitely 3 that I need to hear them interview for round it out.
Real quick.
Daryl Bevel.
Miami.
Yeah, Frank Wright.
Okay.
And actually Matt LaFleur's younger brother.
Mike
LaFleur.
You don't have Eric Bieniemy on your list. You're not.
The only reason I don't. The only reason he like 5'6" for me is because I just think what I'm here. No, not even that. Is I think personality wise, what I'm hearing about, there's rumors that he possibly be raiding players. He's tough on players. Like DJ and Justin are very even keel, cool, calm, collected dude. So you bringing in that rah-rah, they might just be like,
they might check out.
Yeah. So it's like, I just don't think that's the best fit. Like the EB need like a Baker Mayfield type of motherfucker. Like, he need one of those because that's what he is.
Hey, EB coaching Baker Mayfield, it doesn't sound bad. I'm not even gonna.
It don't. The tempo don't sound bad at all. Honestly.
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad at all. The only one outside of the people that I had that recently came up, you didn't mention Marcus Brady, did you?
No.
Offensive assistant for the Eagles. He's another guy that I expect.
I'm gonna add one more person. I'm not necessarily want him from OC, even though I wouldn't be mad at him. But Pat, is it Pep Hamilton? Pep Hamilton.
Out of where?
He is the passing game coordinator for Houston right now, or something like that. But he was the one that he worked with especially in college.
Black and Miles.
but he's good though. He helped CJ out a lot, but like I want him more as a QB coach. I think he's way better as a QB coach. But he does have experience as a coordinator as well.
And he was the head coach in the XFL. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's very versatile. So like Pep Hamilton, I felt like Pep should have been one of the people we should have looked at as our OC last year. So
I didn't even know passing game coordinator was a thing until
definitely a thing.
I didn't either.
It's levels to it. It's levels to it. That's how it goes in football. It's levels to how you become an offensive coordinator because as an offensive coordinator, it's so detailed. You have to know all those things.
I mean, I always knew about quarterbacks coaches, but I had no clue there was a passing game coordinator. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So no college coaches. I'm sorry, Drip. No college coaches on the list or anything like that.
Hell, Banaba.
There's some college coaches I have on my list for DC, not necessarily for offensive coordinator, only because kind of like you, Dub. I'm looking at people who have NFL experience mainly for what we.
Agreed.
That's fair.
Facts.
So, but all right. Any last thoughts, y'all, before we get up out of here?
No, sir.
All right,
no to the 49er passing game, guys. No.
That's hilarious. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, 773-242-9336. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Chi-Town up, Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.